Alright, we're back looking at the 8550 WLB. I've got a few things to show you. I've got update on this thing, I've got a new opener to show you, and I also minor update on the 1020C. I honestly probably don't even need to run the 1020C, but we will, just because I like it. Anyway, so actually, you know what, why don't we start off, I'll show you the new opener I got. Here it is. This is an old Chamberlain. Now, I mean, you know, it looks exactly like a 333C, but it doesn't actually say that anywhere on this operator. It just says Chamberlain on the sides. I think this would be a 333C, but I'm not 100% sure. It is a 3rd horsepower model G646203. So, yeah, I think this would be the 333C, but again, not 100% sure on that. But this is one that was at a job site. We were actually replacing the T-handle lock on the other door, and this operator was sitting there. It was unplugged, the arm was disconnected, and the guy was there. I asked him, well, hey, does this thing work? He's like, no, it doesn't work. I was like, well, if you want, I could take it down for you, take it off your hands, because I collect these things. And as you would expect, he looked at me like I was crazy, but he's like, I'll go for it, it's just in my way. So yeah, I figured that was a nice score. Unfortunately, no light lens though, and the original receiver was not there, but I do have one here. And then this is the remote that I have that for some reason, it doesn't want to work, although maybe it'll work now. Nope. I have a good battery in there and the dip switches are matching. And I know I've used this receiver before. It could be the remote is dead, because I've never tried to use this remote before until now. So who knows. Anyways, and he told me this thing didn't work, but it actually seems to work just fine, so we'll go ahead and give it a run. So yeah, super quiet. That was the way down. Run that back up. Come on. There we go. So yeah, you know, why can't they make them like this anymore? They're so much quieter than the stuff they're coming out with now. So much more reliable. I'm not sure when this was made, and I'm also not sure what kind of condition the gear is in. I haven't taken the cover off of this, but if before I go to install this on anything, I will pull the gear out and grease it like I did with this thing and like I did with that Sears there. Let's see if this wants to magically work yet. No. And this is unlocked. This is locked. Okay, it just doesn't want to work. So we'll run this down. So yeah, that is I will never be able to keep this model number straight in my head, G646203. Just like their current openers, that model number makes no sense, but whatever. Anyway, so update on the 8550 here, same one, but I did get the correct motor for this. So I got it from one of the other techs at work. He said he changed this motor out. The customer got a warranty motor, but he thinks there was actually something wrong with the board. So he gave me the old motor, said I could have it if I wanted it, so I put it in here. And that motor does work, and it actually sounds like it's supposed to. The only thing is I did switch the gear out from the original motor into this motor because the spline on the other gear was kind of worn and the sprocket didn't slide on very well, so I just put the original gear back in. There is a little bit of play in this shaft, but it's not like this opener is ever going to see heavy use, so it's not a huge deal. Before I run this and let you hear it, I actually did take apart the original motor because I was kind of curious on what it looked like. So I was expecting to see just a bunch of shavings, but that was not the case. So this is what the inside of the motor casing looks like. It actually looks alright, but you can see we have some scratches in there. So if we take a look at the actual motor, and I still have a connection to the gearbox, you can see here we have some of these wires, or windings, or whatever you want to call them, somehow came loose in here, and then you can see these divots it made in the magnets. So that is why this motor just didn't work. And I'm actually curious if the same thing happened to my other motor that I have that I found out was also bad. But that's really interesting. I've never seen anything like this happen before. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and run this 8550 here and show you how it sounds. So yeah, sounds pretty good, pretty decently quiet. Run it back down. Alright, and last, I did adjust the limit just a little bit on the 1020C. We'll give this one more run here, just because I like this opener, and it runs great. One more try. Maybe this will magically work. No, it will not. Okay. Alright. Anyway, here's the 1020C. And yeah, the arm angle's back, as you know. Back up, and that'll be it. And actually, one thing I just thought of about this receiver over here, because I know on the Sears receivers, when you push the button on the remote, the little LED flashes on the wall console. I'm curious if this does it too. Yeah. So, anyway, there you go. That's a new old Chamberlain, pretty much the equivalent to this LiftMaster here. And then a little update on that 8550. So thanks for watching.